The wind blew softly across the quiet farming valley of Auran 3, a small moon that circled a warm golden planet. Life here was simple: no war, no big cities, no loud machines. People worked in their fields, raised animals, and traded small things to survive. Among them lived a boy named Relo, a 16-year-old who always dreamed about stars far beyond his little home. Relo was not strong like other boys, nor brave like the soldiers he read about in old holobooks. But he had one special thing: curiosity. He loved exploring. Almost every free day, he walked into the forests, the caves, and the forgotten ruins scattered across the moon. His mother always warned him, "Relo, don't go near the old structures. They're dangerous." But Relo always smiled and said, "I'll be fine, Mother. They're just ruins." Yet everyone on Auran 3 knew the truth. Those ruins were not built by humans. They belonged to the ancients, a powerful alien race that vanished thousands of years ago. Some people said the ancients left behind machines. Others whispered they left weapons. But no one truly knew. Relo wanted to know. Medium white star beginning, the discovery. One quiet morning, when the two suns were still rising, Relo walked alone into the deep ravine. It was an area no one visited anymore. Massive stones, covered with glowing lines, sat like sleeping beasts. He climbed down, brushing dust from his clothes, and whispered to himself, "Maybe today I'll find something new." He did not know how right he was. After walking for a long time, he reached a broken doorway half buried in earth. Symbols he had never seen glowed faintly on its surface. Unlike other ruins he explored, this one felt awake. He took a breath. Just looking, he told himself, even though he knew he would go inside. The chamber inside was cold and dark. He touched the walls. They felt warm, almost alive. As he walked deeper, a soft hum filled the air. The sound grew louder with each step until he reached a circular room. In the center lay a long object resting on a stone platform, wrapped in dust and vines. A sword. But it didn't look like any sword Relo had ever seen. Its blade was metallic silver with tiny star-like lights running across it. The hilt was smooth, shaped for a hand much bigger than a human's. It called to him. Relo whispered, "What are you?" and reached out. The moment his fingers touched the sword, a bright light flashed. The chamber shook, the hum grew louder, and the glowing symbols on the walls turned brilliant white. What's happening? Then everything went silent. Relo looked down. The sword was glowing softly in his hands, as if it had awakened. And it had chosen him. Medium white star middle. The blade's power awakens. Relo carried the sword home hidden in a cloth, still shaking with excitement and fear. He didn't tell anyone, not even his mother. That night, as stars filled the sky, Relo sat outside holding the sword. It hummed gently, matching the beat of his heart. When he gripped it tighter, the blade shimmered and extended. When he loosened his hold, it shrank like liquid metal. "It changes shape, like it listens," he whispered. He didn't know the sword had a name. Not yet. The next day, while Relo was cutting wood, a group of armored soldiers landed their craft near his home. They wore dark suits with bright red symbols, the mark of the Kovar Empire, one of the strongest and cruelest military forces in the galaxy. Their leader stepped out. A tall alien with grey skin and sharp eyes. His voice was cold. "People of Auran 3. We are searching for a stolen ancient weapon. Bring it to us, and we will leave you unharmed. Hide it, and your moon will burn." Relo froze. They know. He slowly backed away before anyone noticed him and ran into the forest. He felt the sword growing warm in his hands, as if warning him. Suddenly, images flashed in his mind: battles, explosions, alien warriors holding the same blade, waves of energy slicing through armies. He fell to his knees. The sword was showing him its past. A voice echoed inside his head, deep, ancient, powerful. I am Calithar, final blade of the ancients. I choose the one who carries courage. I choose you. Rilo gasped. Why me? I'm nobody. But the voice faded. Just then, soldiers crashed through the trees behind him. There. The boy, catch him. Rilo panicked and lifted the blade. It glowed bright blue. A wave of force exploded outward, knocking the soldiers off their feet. He stared at the sword in shock. I did that. He didn't stay to admire it. He ran deeper into the woods until the shouts faded. Medium white star meeting the wanderer. After hours of running, Rilo reached an old abandoned cabin. But it wasn't abandoned. A tall woman with silver hair and a long coat stepped out. She wasn't human, her eyes glowed like amber fires. She raised a hand. Stop. I'm not your enemy. Rilo gripped the sword. Who are you? My name is Sarah Vallin. I'm a wanderer. I study ancient ruins. She stared at the sword in his hand. And you, somehow awakened a weapon no one in 1,000 years could touch. Rilo swallowed. I didn't mean to. It just chose me. Sarah walked slowly around him, examining the blade. That weapon is alive, Rilo. It grows stronger with your emotions. If the Empire gets it, they will destroy whole planets. Rilo felt his hands shaking. I'm just a farm boy. I can't fight an empire. Sarah knelt in front of him. Destiny doesn't choose heroes based on who they are. It chooses them based on who they can become. Before Rilo could reply, the ground shook. A Kovar ship was landing nearby. Sarah grabbed his arm. Come. If you want to live, follow me. They ran through the forest, dodging blasts and explosions. Sarah moved quickly, firing blue beams from her wrist device, knocking soldiers away. Use the sword, she shouted. I don't know how. Let it guide you. Rilo closed his eyes and felt the blade pulse. When he swung it, a bright arc of glowing energy sliced through a fallen tree like butter. The soldiers froze, shocked. That's impossible, one whispered. Rilo whispered back, I hope so. They escaped into the hills. Medium white star training for destiny. For the next few days, Sarah trained Rilo inside a hidden cave. She taught him how to breathe, how to focus, how to let the sword read his intentions. The more he trained, the more connected he felt to the blade. It hummed like it trusted him. One night during training, he asked her, why did the ancients disappear? Sarah looked up at the stars. They fought a terrible enemy. An enemy that devoured energy itself. They created the blade Calithar, your sword, to defeat it. But the war destroyed them. Rilo's stomach twisted. So if the Empire wants it, does that mean the enemy is coming back? Sarah hesitated. It never left. It's growing again. Rilo looked at the glowing blade. And I'm supposed to stop it. You're chosen for a reason. He didn't feel chosen. He felt scared. But he kept training. Because deep inside, he knew running would only make things worse. Medium white star the attack on Auran 3. Everything changed when a Kovar dreadnought appeared in the sky above his moon. Its shadow covered entire valleys. Rilo and Sarah rushed outside. The ship fired a warning blast into the mountains. Earth shook, rocks fell. They're going to destroy the moon unless you surrender the sword, Sarah said. Rilo clenched his fists. I won't let anyone die because of me. He walked toward the village, blade glowing at his side. Villagers screamed and ran, but Rilo stepped forward alone. The alien commander descended from the ship in heavy armor. Boy, give me the blade. Rilo shook his head. No. Then Auran 3 will fall. Rilo lifted the sword. Suddenly, bright golden energy spiraled around him. The blade extended, doubling in size, shining like a small star. The commander charged. Relo blocked the blow, sparks flying. Even though he was smaller, the blade seemed to guide his arms. Each strike became faster, sharper, more perfect. Sarah fired from the hills, distracting soldiers. Relo jumped, swung the blade downward, and shattered the commander's armor. The alien fell to his knees. "You cannot win," he gasped. "I don't need to win," Relo replied. "I just need to protect my home." With one final strike of light, the commander fell. The dreadnought retreated, its engines roaring as it fled the moon. Orion 3 was safe. For now. Medium white star ending, a destiny beyond home. Relo stood on a hill overlooking his village. His mother ran to him, hugging him tightly. "My boy, you saved us." "I did what I had to," Relo whispered. Sarah approached him. "The Empire will return. And worse enemies will rise. You cannot stay here." Relo looked at the sword in his hand, feeling its gentle hum. "Where do I go?" Sarah smiled. "To the stars. To learn. To fight. To become the hero the galaxy needs." Relo felt fear, but also excitement. All his life, he wanted more than a quiet moon. And now destiny was calling him beyond the sky. He turned to his mother. "I'll come back. I promise." She wiped her tears. "My son, you were never meant to stay in one place. Your heart always looked at the stars." Sarah opened the hatch of her small starship. "Ready?" Relo took one last breath of his home. Then he stepped inside the ship, the sword glowing softly beside him. As the engines ignited and the ship rose into the sky, Relo whispered, "I'm just a simple boy. But maybe I can become something more." The ship broke into space, stars spreading before them like a sea of light. And somewhere deep inside the sword, the ancient voice spoke again. "Your destiny is written in the stars. Now go and claim it." Relo smiled. His journey had just begun.